fast as fuck, boy. Still fast as fuck, boy.
Nihilite. What's going on, guys? It's Doss. Welcome back to another real world vehicle ownership review video. A video for certified used car enthusiasts. Doss Dedicated speaks about real world ownership and reliability on great quality used cars, trucks, vans, SUVs, helicopters, boats, whatever you got, especially the homie. The average cost of fuel right now is around $4.50. So what better of a time to introduce a vehicle that's heavily engineered off exceptional fuel economy? Right here in front of me is a 2019 Hyundai Ioniq, which was provided by the homie Max. As you can see, it has plenty of nice, wonderful upgrades that we will discuss each and every one of them, show you how they function. Let's get started. So Max originally purchased this car about 5 years ago from a used car dealer, which the previous owner of this car traded this in for a Tesla back when it had about 1,800 miles on it. Now it has about 86,000 miles on it. So before we get under the hood, let's talk about reliability issues. Obviously, it's what this video is for. So one of the biggest issues is the transmission replaced under warranty. Around 15,000 miles, it was leaking at the CVT axles, and the dealership lost the transmission about 4 times. As a result, they had this car for about 5 months in total. Also, the heat exchanger was leaking on the exhaust system, and he repaired that himself around 80,000 miles. All right, so under the hood, he hasn't had too many issues, except he had to replace the spark plugs due to a random misfire issue when it's extremely cold outside, but he does his own oil changes and stuff like that. For the powertrains of the 2019 Hyundai Ioniq, this car is the base trim, but if you got the blue trim, which is probably what this is, you had a 1.6 liter GDI 4-cylinder engine with a total horsepower of 139, 57 in the city and 59 on the highway with a 6-speed dual clutch. Plug-in hybrid, you had a 1.4 cylinder, which is probably the same, with an electric motor. And then for the complete electric version, you had a 28 kilowatt lithium ion with a range of around 124 miles. Apparently it had a lifetime hybrid battery warranty for original owners. So the first exterior modification I want to show you guys really quick is these exterior lights. He used to have a roof rack up top. You'll see the purple theme going on throughout this exterior. To the windshield, this A-pillar, he's got 2 more. He's gonna turn them on right now. Nice and bright. Probably not street legal either, but at least it's very helpful on the trails. There's even more LED lighting in the rear right here, as you can see, mounted perfectly. It looks like a reverse light, but it's not. But if you need to light up your path in the rear, I always wanted to talk about this wing. I don't even care if the camera is focusing on my face or not. I hope it's focusing on this wing because this is a giant V-bore. You got 13.8 inches tall, and then you got about 53.4 inches wide, which is the distance between each of these 2 little fins. And once again, he's got this purple and white theme, which matches the rest of the exterior of this car. You might be looking at this giant antenna right here, wondering what it's for. That's because he's installed a Cobra 29LX AM FM professional CB radio. This is kind of like the same setup that you'll see, you know, maybe pickup trucks or some type of emergency vehicle have. These really cool mud flaps right here. He's got on all 4 corners a set of rock blocks mud flaps. As you can see, they stick out quite well just in case these extremely aggressive sporty street tires are going to kick up rocks. All right, so moving on to the interior of Max's Hyundai Ioniq. Not too much in here to look at other than all of his very neatly placed aftermarket equipment and stuff that controls the lights and the CB radio and things like that. He's even got his flashlight over here on the right side of the center console, which this car, cool features. He says it's a base model, but he has heated seats, front, driver, and passenger. And he's also got this EVHE V mode. And he's installed these JBL speakers, which is something that he's told me about his interior. Everything else is pretty much your basic Ioniq interior. You got this nice soft dashboard, and of course you got a glove box, which you can't lock, but he's got his CB radio set up right here, so I don't want to open that too much. Chargers that come down the front of the dashboard right here. Of course, climate control in here. Then you have a nice 8-inch touchscreen in the center control stack. Digital gauge cluster on the left and the right side, and in the middle you got your fixed speedometer, and your steering wheel actually looks quite sporty. It's not a regular circle like how pretty much every single car is. This flat space at the bottom, and even more purple to match the exterior modifications. Another extremely neatly set up aftermarket modification. He's got this dash camera up here, and the wire just disappears up above the headliner. I always like to take a look at little details, even in these base model vehicles, like the sun visors. Let's see, oh, you have a pretty big mirror. and the light, which I actually prefer to be stuck on the ceiling like this instead of right next to the actual mirror. What an awesome setup. Let's look on this side, see the same thing. Yes, indeed, would you look at that. Center control stack underneath the climate control is pretty standard. You got this nice large storage area right here, and then he's got this cool little hoodie on his gear select, surrounded by piano black. You got, of course, park, reverse, neutral drive, and sport mode. You can switch if you choose to do so in an automatic. Underneath that, you have a single U weird shaped cup holder. And then under that, you have an actual cup holder. Then, of course, you have your center console storage cubby, which is kind of interrupted by the right side storage cubby. But at least you have a 12-volt cigarette style outlet. You open it up, psych, it's actually a USB. Up above in the overhead console, you have two lights you can obviously press and they will turn on. And then right in the center, you have your controls for your interior lighting. If you want to turn that off, I wish I had that feature in my Buick. A sunglasses holder. What kind of vehicle these days doesn't have a sunglass holder? There you go right there. Both driver and passenger seats are manual forward and backrest, and also lumbar support headrest as well. Phone mount up here. Now there's not much to enjoy back here, especially looking at the rear of the center console. Just a slab of black plastic, but at least you can enjoy your JBL speakers, which are also back here as well. Up top right here, you press it, and of course the light comes on. A grab handle when you're doing your Bajaing and all that stuff. Guess what? Not many vehicles can say this, but you have a rear seat center armrest and also two cup holders as well. And you can adjust your seat backrest, headrest, so you don't get whiplash when you're Bajaing and all that stuff as well. And little pouch right here so you can store some things. The driver's side does not have one. I guess if you're on that side, you gotta hold whatever you would like to store in a pouch like this. One thing I forgot to mention, but hopefully you can see what this angle is on all of his doors. On the inside of him, he's installed these red decals, which are obviously supposed to mimic reflectors. I will consider this version of this car the hatchback, because when you open up the rear, to push underneath this Hyundai logo, the entire rear glass comes up and it looks like a hatchback for the most part. But back here, he's got a lot of personal things. It looks like he can literally run a AAA roadside assistance service in the back of this car alone. But he's got this really cool setup right here. Usually you'll see this covering, privacy cover, what they call it, on SUVs, but this car has it, which also makes me believe that this is a true hatchback. And he's also installed these really cool 12-volt cigarette style outlets. He's also got two underneath the hood, as he says. As you look at how neat this setup looks, it looks like this is almost factory. Besides the yellow wiring and exposed gear and things like that, it almost looks factory on how impressive he's got this thing. But since he's got so much stuff back here, it would be a complete pain to actually try to remove this stuff just for the video. He's got seems to be a full-size spare tire right here. I'm not sure if underneath this floorboard is where you would find a half spare, a full-size spare, or maybe just tire changing equipment, how cars normally do these days. And you still have to manually pull this thing down. Be careful of the wing. If the sporty and rally theme of this car wasn't enough for you and you needed to actually do some towing, this car is rated about 2,000 pounds, so there is a little tiny hitch up underneath this light, tucked way back up under here just in case. There's the end of the DOS dedicated review of the coolest, most well put together, do-it-yourself, street legal rally car I've ever seen. Privileged to get in front of the camera for you guys. If you didn't already notice his IG username on the back of this car, I will obviously put it in the description so you guys can check that out as well. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. You guys stay tuned and nasty.